So yesterday, I think we discussed kind of one exercise, right? So did you get a chance to work on that? Anyone?
You gave two assignments, Raghu. First one is done through a cookbook. The second thing is not done.
Okay. So that is installing two Tomcat instances using two different JDKs.
Yeah. Manually, we used to modify the ports and do that. Yeah, through cookbook, I'm not sure about.
Okay. Anyone else tried?
Yes, Raghu tried, but I have only done till HTTP installation. Otherwise, today.
Okay. Yeah.
And I have to do nothing, Raghu, actually. So the IP addresses have been changed. But still, I was able to access, do everything with Chef.
Oh, you're talking about the workstation and the node relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
That still exists.
Oh, that is good, I think.
Hi Raghu, if I try to execute any cookbooks, I'm getting these errors. I'll ping in the chat.
Okay. Track trace dump to Chef. Please provide the content of the stack trace file if you have. So this error, whatever you are getting, so is it at the client side or at the workstation itself?
Workstation itself.
What is a cookbook? Can you just only give me the content of the cookbook?
Okay, fine.
That default Adobe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Series Apache to do action and Apache series.
This is recipe, and if I try to in cookbooks also, I'm getting the same error.
Okay. This may not be the actual error, but this file, right? The slash var, the absolute path, the front slash was missing. So you see that in the path I'm talking about slash var. Okay, let me copy this to the note there so that everyone can see. Meeting chat. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the stack trace error. I mean, I'm not sure, like, it is related to this or not, but this one I'm talking about. That the slash is missing, no? Front slash.
Okay.
That just see if you can sort out that. And what else it is? HTML body, hello world. I think rest everything is looking okay. And okay, so this Apache 2 is the package name. So I guess, because we are using Amazon Linux boxes, this Apache 2 package is not there. For example, if this is my client, mine is Amazon Linux CentOS based, right? So Apache 2 package, I guess it is not there. So the package name is stpd. So you just need to update this as well. HTTP. This Apache 2 package name is works with the Ubuntu flavor. This one.
Okay.
So these three changes. www.html, HTML content. Yeah, that's it. I'll put in the meeting chat.
Hello, Raghu, actually I'm able to upload cookbooks, but and it is listing under policy, but it is not showing under node run list. What would that?
You just need to refresh the browser. See, just
Yeah, I have refreshed also. Multiple times I have refreshed, re-logged in.
that's it. Okay, 1 second. Let's just check it out. Yours. Can you just show me the screen?
Post. Okay.
Yeah. Can you do the screen share? Yeah.
Okay.
So it's uploaded here, right?
Yeah, I have uploaded. You the details also there.
Okay.
Content recipes. Okay. So, but under the nodes, run list, it is not showing.
Okay. Okay. Give me the control.
Okay. My first CB as my second CB.
Okay. So is this Mozilla, right?
Chrome.
Chrome, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you just try in another browser? I'll just give up this control to you.
Okay.
IE or anything.
Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, that is also fine.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it could be just a browser issue.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Fine.
Yeah, so in case if you have this, UI issue, you can do that through the CLA as well. I'll show you today how to do that.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, yesterday, the exercises. I hope you get a chance to work on that.
Yes. But I was stuck here.
And where in the second cookbook?
I wrote the recipe, but for an edit run list, I was stuck.
How's it? You want me to do a screen share again?
No. Fine.
That's fine. So I think the first one is reverse proxy. So that is anyway, I think just in the interest of time, I think I already have some in my GitHub repository. Let me see. If it is not there, we will create. Okay, looks like it's not there. Okay, let me just create it quickly. So first one, we will generate a cookbook for proxy. Self generate cookbook. What was that requirement was like, I'm just giving a proxy cookbook name. So I'm inside the cookbooks folder, creating this cookbook. This is the first step which we have done. It will create an empty cookbook. Go to that, go to the recipe. So we have this default.rb. Requirement is install. In case like if you want to install multiple packages, you can use this way. One is stpd and there was Tomcat 7, not Tomcat 7, just Tomcat hyphen web apps sample applications. So please install this thing. Do and action space colon install. So in yesterday and yesterday's thing exercises, we have not used this package do an end. The reason is this is your resource. This is like an array installing multiple apps together. Otherwise, do an end. It is kind of what you call providing the attributes to the resource called package. Where do we get these details? If you go to chef.io resources link, you will get all the attributes which can be used with the respective resources. So every resource will be having default action attribute to execute. So that is, for example, for package action install is the default attribute to be triggered. So even if you just say package Tomcat, package stpd, that is also fine. So it will still work and execute the respective packages in the node. Here, I'm just explicitly giving that to action install, just an extra lines of code, which really not needed, but just for reference point of view, and it will look clean and neat when we try to troubleshoot if it becomes complex cookbook. So package is all installed, and then start the package. First, I want to start Tomcat and action. Start or restart, anything is fine. The difference is that when you use restart, you have an advantage. In case if it is in stop mode, only start will not work. Or like you want to do a recycle, so restart will always help. And then proxy will ask what I'll do. I'll try to use template to deploy, which I'll create later. So where should I deploy? stpd/convert. What was the file name you want to give? proxy.conf. Source. Yeah. And then finally start the Tomcat stpd. Action. Restart or start. I think it should be fine. So, because we created recipe, now come out of this recipes, create the template. Just generate template proxy.conf. So what it will do, it will create an empty template folder. Inside that, you'll see proxy.conf.erb embedded Ruby file will be created. The examples. The local host and the same machine because, right? Example. And then a reverse. This file will go and do the deployment. So, but before I upload to the server and all the stuff, can I also execute local environment, that is workstation, to check whether it is working or not? Yes. You can do that also. But we have seen that an -z local option for recipe. But what about the cookbook execution local? The same stuff you can use chef-client -z or -local mode. Anything is fine. Only thing is run list and recipe of which cookbook proxy. Because it's a default .rb, I think the syntax should be fine. Let me just check it out. Yeah, it is. Looks like it is working. Just throw some exception. Just check it out. What could be the issue? Okay, run list recipe proxy. I think it has to be in double quotes. Syntax error expected. Line number 22. Recipes default.rb. Line number 20. Action start. Okay, yeah, this colon it's supposed to be. I missed it. I'll give it a try. So this will help us to even check the syntax issues as well. It says that Tomcat web apps do package name action install. Running exceptional handlers. So the syntax, just check it out, the syntax. So we have one example. Oh, I used a percentile W. Okay, typo. I think it looks like this time it is through. So it is installed. Just check it out. Is Tomcat up and running? Yes. Is Tomcat HTTP is up and running? Yes. Just check whether reverse proxy is deployed. Yes. Now try to access from outside just to see whether all is fine or not. To get the public IP, go to the machine. This is my workstation. Everything I'm doing on the workstation. So take the IP address. First of all, HTTPD, is it working? Yes. Put a / and do examples. Yeah, that is also working fine. So proxy pass is working fine. Now you can upload this to the Chef server and rest everything is known, right? Go to EC2-user, Chef-repo, cookbooks. So I'm fine with this cookbook. Now I do night upload proxy. Now step. So the run list, I was telling you, right? Through CLI also we can do that. So we will see now. Proxy is updated to the server policy section. So node list, first of all. How many nodes are there? Currently only one node, that is apps_7. Okay. So now adding in a run list to this node through CLI. What was the syntax? Just missed it. Type node run list add. Okay. Type node run underscore list add node name. This is my node name. A space run list item. What was the cookbook name? A proxy, right? Try this. It's added there. So now if you go to the client, then do chap icon client. Then just see whether now the proxy cookbook is accessible, and then can we download this cookbook? Yes, that's it. Yeah, all set. Any questions on this? No questions? This Friday we have assignment. Okay, if there's no questions, then we'll check the assignment. So now what else we discussed? Proxy is created, and then the second exercise. Step generate cookbook to Tomcat. I think this is the requirement, right? So once the cookbook is created, now go and add the recipes. So to Tomcat, the recipes. Package. Again, so I would like to install Tomcat, and then Java. Okay, what is the edition right now I'm having here? I think we'll go with first one. We have OpenJDK 11 edition. Okay. So currently, the client side, what is the Tomcat edition we have, and what is the Java edition it is using? It is using OpenJDK 11.0.8. Okay. So we will use JDK 8 now to uh, to use another Tomcat here. But can I just check it out? Do we have another Tomcat in the RPM? I know 7 by default it is there, but I think 8 it is not there. Right? So we don't have 8. So probably you have to download that from the portal directly. And then extract that portal and then start using that particular stuff. So we can do that that way as well. So I think Tomcat, because it's already there and running, so I don't need Tomcat now. I just need JDK. Okay, so Tomcat is already there. We need another Tomcat, right? So what we can do, download Tomcat. Let's say 8. So this is your download section. And we have Tarbal. Okay, so let me copy this. So directly they download in the core only. So this has to be downloaded manually. So probably we have to use bash resources. What is bash resource? Wherein it can accept some basic shell scripts commands. The example and everything is given. Just take an example and then start using it. So I'm just taking sample from the official wiki. Install Tomcat 8. Then and your date notation, wget. Anyway, we have the link, right? And then tar the file. ZX. Extract that and then go to the Apache folder. Okay, so it is configure make in some object, right? End of the error notation. So for now, let's just see whether if everything is fine or not. So recipe proxy, but not proxy, but it is determined. Just thrown an error saved tar. Okay, it is the file is not able to find locate that. So vi recipe So it looks like this movie. So far what we have done, we install Java 8, I guess, right? Yeah, 1.8 we install on this machine. And then, so we also started one Tomcat, but the other Tomcat also we can start now. So go to Tomcat. So Java is properly installed and Tomcat is installed, and start with that. The bash do and end. Close the dot rotation. Now, package JDK installed, package Tomcat is installed. So we need to configure this Tomcat to use this particular Java edition. So manually, how do we do that? We will go to the server.xml, update the parameters. But through Cookbook, how do you do that? Yeah, you can use templates and all that stuff, even anything else. No, those things it is to be there. So what we will do now, right now, because Tomcat is now downloaded and extracted into a local machine. We just need to incorporate this reverse proxy also into that particular Tomcat server, so that in case if you want proxy paths to be used, you'll get an idea, fair idea. Any questions from here?
Can you please share the commands?
Yes. I'll say this recipe, default recipe also for model, just for your reference and model purpose. So I will not be completing this. What you need to do is, because you just install one more Tomcat, try to restart this process now using two different ports. So what you do manually, I'll just show you one thing. This is your generally like in your search shape, Tomcat, conf, Tomcat user.xml. This is where port number 8080 will be configured.
Server.xml. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that's. So you just need to create a template using server.xml, modify these ports, deploy that. So that will be updated. That is the easiest and the best practice. So how do you create a template using this thing? Simply copy this to the current folder where we have to Tomcat. Under that, templates. Okay, template it's not there. But now copy that. Go to Tomcat. And then again, simple, just generate. So generate what's done proxy.conf, right? Sorry, server.xml. Not Cookbook, template. So a template server.xml is created. You just need to add this text to that file. Once it is added, you just need to edit this stuff. Look for startup road. So let's just change this to 98. Also, the shutdown port also we have to change. 90. So template is also now modified. Once template is ready, again, what you need to do, you just need to go to recipes, default.rb. You need to copy that template stuff to the existing Tomcat path. I mean, wherever it is. And then restart all the processes. That's it. That will fix the issue. Any questions from the two Tomcat editions? Okay. That's it. Like, we will move on. Try this option again, once again, now, because we got some clue here. And then you'll be able to fix that by at least by tomorrow. So what we do now, we will try to spin up a Windows machine, and then we'll try to bootstrap the Windows machine and write some cookbooks there. So that will what the today topic we have, and then if time permits, we'll try to use attributes and etc. there. Yeah. Let's spin up a Windows machine. I'll go to Amazon console, and then we'll try to spin up a machine there. So this is my workstation. This is my chef node. So let me deploy a Windows machine quickly. So I'm going to use Windows Server 2019 base. I guess it will take a lot of memory. Let me see if I can get some lightweight one. 2016 should be fine, base edition. Okay. So 2016 base edition, we'll try to deploy. I'll go with T2 micro only, the only one which is free of cost. So I'm just trying to spin up a Windows client this time. Just give it 2 minutes. Come off this machine cleanly. Yeah, looks like the machine is up and running now. Instance summary. This is my machine. Okay, because the Windows machine, I have to use RDP. Yeah, so this is my Windows machine, but it is asking me password. So to get the password, I can click on this. Connection is still disabled. When you go for click connection, yeah, I think it is asking to get the password. Get the password. And browse that PEM file to get the password. So this is your password. So what we can do temporarily, we will try to store in a notepad. So Windows Bootstrap. Do we have any Windows Bootstrap notes? Yeah, here we go. I'll be sharing this with you anyway. So I'm just updating the password. Node name, it is 2019, I guess, right? And what is the IP address of the node? Okay, this is public IP, this is private IP. Just take the private IP. So this username is administrator, password is this. Yeah. So hopefully, like all the ports are open. So where should we do that? We should do that with the workstation. That is the whole idea, right? But before that, can we just log in first of all? Username is administrator. And what was the password? Password was, I think, we captured a notepad. Let me try to log in. So Windows actually takes a lot of resources. So it will take little time to come up. Anyway, so it's back now to this. Yes. Oops. Yeah, server machine is ready. So just trigger PowerShell. Windows PowerShell. So this is your Windows Bash PowerShell. Yeah, we are inside the this thing. So now what we do, we will try to open firewall. I think the command, everything I mentioned here. So firewall.cpi. It will just open the network, local OS level IP table kind of stuff, which we have the same concept with your Ansible as well. Sorry, with Linux operating system. So here, and what I'll do, I'll just try to switch off this for now temporarily, because this is just for training purpose and previous purposes. I'm disabled. In real time, we have to create an exceptional. Okay, so this wizard is also done. Now we're good for bootstrapping. So let me try to do that. I'm just taking what is my client IP. So go to the AWS console. The Windows client. So let's do a bootstrapping now from workstation. Come inside the Tomcat, come out of this. Copy. But the port number and all these things supposed to be available and accessible. Otherwise, bootstrapping will not work. So here, of course, we have not restrictions, right? For our project, what are the ports and etc. That's the reason I'm not mentioning. It is installing or it is bootstrapping Windows node by installing FTK and registering that node with the chef server. It will take a couple of minutes. This will wait for it. Give me a minute. Yeah, I'm back. So Windows machine bootstrap is completed. Windows machine bootstrap is completed. And now just go to the Chef server. Yeah, so we could see the Windows bootstrap is now reflecting in the node list. So go to the Windows machine and go to the command prompt. Try to run chef-client. Waiting, the and environment path is not configured. So what you can do, you can go to C colon, DevOps code, code bin, and chef-client. You can set up this environment path that later you can and then start do the same thing. So because now Bootstrap is configured at my machine, I would like to write a cookbook for Windows platform. Same resources are applicable. So just we'll take one example. So on a C drive, I just need one file to be created. That's it. So just go to the DevOps folder, go to Cookbooks. So let me just create a simple, extremely simple cookbook. Win file. Go to win file, recipes, edit default.rb. I'm going to use the same resource called file. File. Where do you want to create? I would like to create under C colon. So welcome.txt. File, do, and content of the file is welcome to Chef. That's it. So come out of recipes, come out of cookbook, call win file, knife, upload, win file. So we'll also need to add to the run list, right? So knife node run list add. What is the node name? Node name which we given is Windows 2019. What's the cookbook name? Cookbook name is win file. Done. So now try to run the chef client. So everything is triggered. Just check it out whether the file is created. Yeah, welcome. Open the file. Welcome to chef. So likewise, you can create any number of cookbooks in Windows also. But I don't want to, create everything from scratch. So what actually people will do is they generally go to supermarket.chef.io, public repository. So wherein you can search for any cookbook and then you can download those. So for example, for Windows, I would like to look for some IS installation cookbook. Search for it. Okay, so some 7.5 edition. So it's Cookbook. So this is a Windows Cookbook platform. You could see Windows. Just click on this Cookbook. It will be routed to the description and what is exactly it will do. And platform it supports. I think ours is 2019, so it supports that. And what are the attributes it used? So many things. So now I'm looking for like a lightweight book. So probably I can search for Learn IAS. Again, just check it out. This is Learn IAS. Dependencies, no dependencies. This is for learning purpose. So how do you download this thing? So you can click on this knife option because you're using knife. You have this download option is available. So where do you download this thing? You download this into the workstation. So once that zip file, the cookbook is downloaded, just unzip a tar. So go to Lunch FFS. This is actually cookbook. And it's written. If you're interested, you can go to their zip piece, check it out. So this guy used a PowerShell script resource. So we have seen this bash resources. No, this is PowerShell script resources. Installing some software, starting the service, and doing the template deployment. So extremely simple cookbook. Now I would like to upload this cookbook. So knife upload level. Once it is uploaded, and then what we do? We add this to the run list. And then when you go to the Windows, anyway, we are doing manually, but this will be automatically run at every 30 minutes, every 1 hour. Likewise, we will configure it. So this is installing so and so some package IIS. What is IIS? It's like your web server, Internet Information Service. So installing. Install. Yeah. Let's check it out. So the IAS installation, want to see whether it is working or not. So there's a Windows client. This is my IP address. Yes. So IAS is installed and is working inside a Windows server. So here, what we have seen this supermarket where we have a lot of cookbooks. You name it, you will get it here. So any cookbook, it could be a Windows cookbook or Linux cookbook, or it could be some Nginx, or it could be anything. You could see, right? A lot of cookbooks using Apache 2, Chef Client, Java. It's a lot of cookbooks available. So these are all different cookbooks which you can download. Docker is also there. Anything you name it, you'll get it. So you also have a Chef Client cookbook. So so in case if you want to configure a Chef Infra into a newly added node, if your server and everything is in place, so you can do that as well here. So which will install the cookbook Chef Client also. So you don't need to again do bootstrapping and all that stuff, it seems. Any questions from anyone? About the writing some windows and etc. So I'll share this, all the commands and all the stuff. Just to try to practice those stuff. So you can also visit my repo where I have some sample lab cookbooks for practice purpose. Here's my link. Just visit here, access these cookbooks. So whatever we have so far, practiced and all this stuff. So this is also available. This is like getting an IP address and etc. This is about the attributes, virtual host creations. There's multiple cookbooks available. So you just need some practice to develop your skills using the cookbooks, different cookbooks. Right? Any questions? Okay. So because I have deployed a Windows machine, I'm actually terminating because opening all the ports not a good practice and Windows Amazon Cloud. I'm going to send state and terminate this Windows machine. It occupies a lot of GP. All good?
Yes, sir. I think we need to practice.
Okay. Yeah. So I will, introduce one concept in Chef before we close this Chef topic and move to another topic. Some advanced, but try to see catch it up just in case if you're not able to get that. It's okay. I mean, but it is always suggested just to learn always new topics. So there is one concept called attributes. What is exactly this attributes? Very popular, widely used. And node attribute. So for example, I would like to get an IP address of the machine. So in those cases, I'll go and get that attribute of so node attribute there. Yeah. Similarly, so I would like to get some environmental details of the node. So that can be used from here, this attributes. Let me just see. It is routing to here only, right? So picture will help you. So Jeff Infra, so you have this workstation, sub-server, clients, right? So you have multiple clients. It could be different platform, wherever it could be a VM cloud or a physical machine. You install Chef agent in all this different machine. Workstation we have understood so far, and you have a infra server where you upload all the cookbooks, etc. And there is another concept called Chef Habitant. So this is some newly future released by Chef, through which you can even deploy applications. So which we call as like an application automation. So what it means is that it will package the applications and then it will go with the habitat. So wherever you want to deploy this application, you can go ahead and deploy this application using this Chef habitat. And so whether it is like a container or any physical machine or a bare metal machine, so it basically comprise of all that application packaged, and then it also supervises that stuff, where so you can define the packages and everything in the habitat, so which will know how to create the packages and run them. Also, in case if there is another package within the application, you want to have a P relationship, so you can have its own some strategy to secure those policies to communicate, etc. So you can go to this link called habitat.ssh link to understand what is Chef Habitat and all this stuff. So, advanced topics, but yeah, if you're interested, you can spend some time going through that. So yeah, Chef inspection, it is all about going through the cookbooks and suggesting advising. Chef automate, a suite enterprise for a layer, with which comes with all the above topics, habitat inspection and separate for client. And you also have nodes which will automate the entire the infrastructure, server inspection, automation. So it will help us to operate the entire workflow, wherein like you can query using some language here through user interface, customize the dashboards. So that I want to find out and know where this particular cookbook is supposed to work. Likewise. So compliance, most of the companies require some compliance issues if there is any security risk, etc. So there's a compliance, which of automate compliance stuff using different tools. Also, you can also automate the high availability. So when I say high availability, what do you mean by that? In case if a node is crashed, a fault tolerance I'm talking about. So the other node should come into the rescue and then start serving the business. So you can develop a solution for that. So it's all about the Chef Habitat, the high availability, compliance, so many things. So spend some time going through this topics here to get good picture of the chef, etc. So very good enterprise configuration management tool, chef. And so you have a lot of things to learn. So the learning, I mean, the language learning always, go with the chef resources. But we go chef resources here. So then here, you can use this, understand those resources, attributes, all that stuff. And if you're very new, you want to learn some cookbooks, I'll just show you one demonstration. I think we have some time today. So one block, I mean, I'm just trying to show you one step-by-step cookbook creation. Like across this one block where you can create a cookbook step by step. So they've explained that step by step how do you do that. So I'll just walk you through how to do that. Probably we'll try to create that. So what is a cookbook name is creating? Lamb stack. So it means on a Linux machine and it's installing Apache MySQL and then PHP. So just following this. So Control C, go to the cookbook, right. So cookbook, empty cookbook called lamb stack is created. Okay. What else? So go to the folder. Under default, we have the recipe folder. See if you can add this stuff. So this is for the Ubuntu flavor. Yeah, that's fine. So we are not going to do anything here. So go to lamb stack, recipes. This is where you have this default.rb. Install Apache. Okay, we don't have any Apache again, as we just now discussed. No? So I'm just trying to copy paste this one anyway. So not Apache, but HTTPD. And then start the service. And then, yeah, so run list and all this stuff. Type as search name node sudo chef client xroot. Then, okay, here this example is a good one. So you're also creating attributes also inside there. So chef generate attribute inside this folder. Okay, we used this absolute path. Probably I think it is not there. Attribute. So what will do? It will create an empty folder called attributes. Inside that, again, you'll see some default.rb. And it is saying that within the default.rb, please create this default values for the cookbooks. So these are some of the attributes which probably we'll be using in our recipe. So edit this thing. So what is this exactly? So it is default lamb stack within the cookbook. So this is the sites variable example.com. So which means that this, if I refer this thing, so it will download all these details. Can I add one more? Yeah, you can add one more. So you can add one more also. So that advantage of attributes that now you can have any number of arrays kind of stuff. Now come back to your recipe. Now what do? You use this virtual host files, which we just now created. So come out of this attributes, go to recipes, default.rb. We just now installed HTTPD and service started, no? So I'm just adding this stuff. Okay. But again, inside that we need to fill something because what we are saying that on a node, These are the parameters it should go, site name and data. Okay, but what is site name and data and all this stuff, which we'll try to define here. So I'm just creating one variable called document root. The document root is a variable name, right? And then using a resource called directory, create this folder. It's two folders. Site name is probably, I think it will receive two, right? One is that example.com. Just go up to attributes example.com, and one is example.org. Two times. It will create two folders. So here, what is directory? Directory is a resource to create the folder. So done, and then save this thing, come out of recipe. Come out of recipe. Now just create one more template. So that virtual host template. So this is where we have to create a template with all the variables so that attributes can be used. So okay, where was okay, it was created absolute path. Okay, let me use it here itself. So go to templates. So you have this ERB virtual host ERB file. It's an empty file. Create the template. So this is syntax. It's a virtual host. It's supposed to be deployed in a Apache software. So what do you mean by server admin? So I'm supplying this variable. In Ruby, any variable if you want to supply, you have to use this symbol. So less than % equal to here, close. That's it. So these are the server admin, server name variables which are coming from the node section and will be traveling here. Document root anyway we created, so that it will be also supplied here. So for now, this I think I don't need. I'll just remove this thing to simplify this. All good. So now come back to your recipe. In recipe, so far, we created this thing, right? But inside that, please also use template, because template is also now we are getting to deploy this thing. So let me copy the syntax. Come out of templates. Go to recipes. So default.rb. So template. I mean the path. This is not our HTTPD path. So etc HTTPD /conf.d. I don't have this folder called site.available, but site name anyway is a parameter here. So it could be probably example.conf, example.org. So two files will be created. Inside that, please deploy this virtualhost.erb. So that is the whole purpose of using a template, wherein the attributes you can send it out. Done. And then what else? So this is site names and all these things to be enabled. It says that this one. It's fine. And this is just to restart and all this stuff. So I'm skipping that. This is also execution enable sites is also not required for our practice purpose. Okay, now this is, we have to create this folder also inside this. No, so I'm just going to add these two lines also. After the template is deployed, so you need to add var HTML so that you can get the home page, a public HTML and action create, etc. You also need to create index.html. So if you want, you can do that as well. You just need to create those folders. So, and then if you want to use some advanced concepts called npm prefork, all that stuff, like you can use it here. and then you can practice. So this link also I'll give it to you. This step by step, I just need to see what is actually it is trying to do. So of course, initially it will take some time for you to understand the self-explanatory blog. This is, so it will help you to understand, what can we do. So for now, what we do, I will save this file, and then I can upload also, or I can run locally also. If I have client. So what's that? lamp_stack. But I think everything is established already installed, so you may not see the the output here. But that's fine. Just to give you an idea. Yeah, so it looks like everything is created, etc. So total you used 11 resources, out of which 8 were processed. Yes. Please update. So it looks like the subclient has to be updated. So this is about continuation. We just now skipped a few options which is there in Apache. Then we installed this thing, and then this is about MySQL installation, a database, and then this is about setting up the MySQL and PHP installation, setting up home page. Yeah, so just spend some time, then it will be easy for you to look at the details, understand the cookbooks, to what extent we can automate and manage the node. So that in the large scale, it is now easy. And also tomorrow, if something you want to apply this to a newly added node to the cluster, you can easily do that stuff without any effort, etc. These are some of the advantages of Chef. And then what Chef says that no need to worry about developing everything from scratch. So we have supermarket, there are a lot of cookbooks available. Use this as a reference or use this as a wrapper cookbook and develop your own cookbooks using that ready-made cookbooks. So apart from this thing, in cookbooks, you can use this cook style as shown you already. So just to give you some advice, suggestions, errors, if there are any. Okay. So, yeah. Also, you have another command called food critic. So what this will do, it'll give you some again some suggestions, advices, error code. So this error codes, food critics 8, 9, all these things. Where can I refer, right? So they have a portal called Food Critic. Picture. So if you want to know what is error codes, let's say FC008. So this is error. It says that, hey, I think this is a suggestion. So probably you have to have maintain your name, email address. This is not there in the recipe. That is the purpose. That's the meaning. So this will help you standardize the cookbook and follow some practice, generalized practice, so that wherever you go, you will see similar kind of cookbooks. So the intention of the food critic is to maintain the stability, maintain the consistency while we searching for some cookbooks across the industry or across the platform. So that not everyone should have their own unique style, and then later it will be difficult for us to analyze the cookbook. Yeah, that's the purpose. The food critic, cook style, many things are there, by the way. To find out a syntax issue, suggestions, advice, all the stuff. Any questions? Questions? Okay. Now, in the server side, so we have seen this is a node list. We also have seen a lot of options, run list, and you also can define your own attributes. And then if you want to clear the node from the list, you can delete that, etc. And you can also generate some reports which we have discussed to find out whether the chef client is triggered or not, and so on. So, or are there any failures? So you can generate some last week or current week, anything. Yeah. Policy, anyway, we know a lot of cookbooks available. So these are some of the roles. What do you mean by role is? I have like 3-4 cookbooks. So I want to create a role called, let's say, web role. Some demo. And then add all the cookbooks which bundles this role. So let's say this randomly I'm just adding this thing, but sequentially it is important. So now when I go to the nodes, so if I want to apply those bunch of cookbooks, so instead of having this cookbook individually, what you can do, I can drag and drop the roles. Okay, I don't want this one now. Leave it. Okay, so save it. So now on the web server, that role will be added. Let's see all about the role stuff here under the policy section I'm talking about. This is what. And we also have data bags. So suppose, let's say I'm trying to set up a MySQL database server. After installing, I want to set up the password as well. This password, I don't want to store in a plain text format, so but it has to be encrypted. So data bags in that case act like that. You save the password in the encrypted format. Of course, you have to create that database and then add that stuff. You can do that through CLI, or you can do from wherever you want. Just create a data bag. So, okay, and then you can again create an item and set that. So just some documentation is there. Just follow that. So even that log which we are referring, right? Where it was. Okay, 1 second. Close this. Yeah. Screen missed it. Okay, 1 second. Let me do a screen share. Yeah. So this, this is how you generally will create a data bag. So MySQL data bag. So some JSON file will be created through CLI, wherein you can set up the password, all that stuff. So you can store there inside the files. Yeah, and actually, basically, it is it will store here and inside the database section here. So I'm just, of course, it's an empty one, but again, I can create an item and then you follow some JSON format. Some examples it is there in the blog, so you can just verify how to create that. Now, once the database is created, when the cookbook is downloading that and it is referring, it will not even download the password and everything. It always refer the password here, that file. So it will help to maintain the integrity on and etc. here. Also, sometimes environment variables has to be created. As if it is dev, use this environment. If it is stage, use this environment. You can develop your own condition loop so that you can download the respective environment from the server. So here, we can create environment here, creating this stuff. So test. And then create an item there, some constraints. So of course we don't have anything here. So I want to have this name for, let's say, virtual host. Some option 1.1.1, something like that. So I can use this in my environment section in the cookbook. So if it is production, use this environment. If it is etc. this thing. So that environment variables will be available here. It will be referring that, because whenever you change the environment, you will be actually having your own environment issues. So environment variables. So that you can segregate here at the environment section. Now this is about the clients, of course. For the first time, validator will be referred. Certificates, because when doing handshake, it will refer that certificates. No? So this is all about the certification. It's a public key. Private key will be available with the client. You can at any point of time, you can delete and modify, add, etc. here manually also. Administration, I think we by this time we already know. Organizations. So you have some issues, you can reset, generate the correct config also. Or you want to have someone invited to the organization, you can invite the user. And you want to come out of the organization, just leave the organizations. That is also there. Starter kit we have seen, we have used this starter kit. This is about users. In case my team having a very big number of people team, I don't want everyone should do bootstrapping. I don't want that they should know that how many cookbooks are there. So you can control that. So that you want to change the password. You want to remove him from the organization, etc. And then you can also group them or add to existing groups called admins, billing, client, public key, etc. Also, you can go to the global permissions again. You want to have this admin clients, they should have this access. Cookbooks, yes, you can access. All that stuff can be done in the global permissions also. So this is all about step server. I can also install this step server on your on-prem environment also, but the UIs will be the same almost. So not major changes. Yeah. I think someone tried to create that cookbook with 2 Tomcat servers now. So you want to troubleshoot that now because we have some time now. Who was that? I don't recollect that. In the initial the session, I was telling that I created that also. The port issue was having some stuff. All right. Oh, okay. So what we'll do tomorrow? Tomorrow we will start another configuration management tool. Not spend too much time. We'll just spend one day, nothing more than that. A simple comparative with your chef. So Puppet. We don't spend too much time. The reason is it is again developed in Ruby also. So the concept and everything are same. So few topics will be different. So for example, here we call as cookbook. So there no, we call it as like what do you call? I forgot, manifesto. Sorry, module. Cookbook is module. Recipe is manifesto. And extension here it is RB. There it is PP file. Here we have workstation, server, node, but there it's only client server, master and client. That's it, nothing more than that. And that's it. Like you module will be writing and all these things, but there will be some changes in terms of master, the way it appears and all that stuff. Interesting one, but yeah, no need to do a deep dive, but just to give you an idea about Puppet, how it works. So the advantage of Chef over Puppet, etc. That we'll try to discuss in the session. So once that is done, then we'll go to the Ansible configuration management service. So Ansible will take some time. Yeah, so 3-4 sessions it will take. So that is very widely used nowadays. So we'll spend nice time to understand the Ansible also. Yeah. So anything else from anyone? Today it looks like very quiet. Are we all vaccinated?
No, not yet. Not getting the slot.
Okay. So I think.
How about you?
No, me same.
Okay.
So initially, it was like pre whatever when initially it was started. When I'm like others, I did not rush to take the vaccine because I was waiting to see the results. So and now once it is touched the peak, now everybody is looking for the vaccination. But yeah, it's other way now. There's no doses, no stock.
Yeah, same here.
So yeah, some companies trying to associate with some hospital networks. So let's see in case your company or any yeah, so it helps you to get exclusive appointment with any hospital network. The good thing is early sign is that cases are coming down, it seems, right?
Yeah, now?
Yeah, I mean comparatively, I'm talking about like number of cases.
Yeah, now they're coming down. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing, but again, the bad thing is that if people started not maintaining social distancing, then again it can reverse. Yeah. Lockdown is helping. Hope for the best because I've seen the other side of the world of family who got infected and who lost their loved ones. Yeah, it's not a good sign. Yeah. I was reading an article also. People are right now having a myth that hey, we escaped from first wave. We have antibodies, we have superheroes, so we have so it is COVID is not affecting us. So the article saying that don't take that lightly. So don't think that you escaped your first wave and you're escaping now second wave also, and now don't think that your immunity is great and then you have antibodies. Don't think that all stuff. Always try to maintain the social distancing. So if the mutants, all those new mutants are multiplying viruses and they're becoming intelligent.
Yeah.
The article was very up to the point.
So Raghu, I have one question. Like here we have one workstation and we have connected a Linux server as a node and Windows. And we have written separate cookbooks for both.
Correct.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
So is there any way like we can in the single recipe we can write like if this node is there, then do these specific tasks to this node, like in Ubuntu servers and in the Windows servers. Like
Yes.
in Ansible, we collect the facts and then we do perform the task. So how can we achieve in this?
Yeah. So we have to use the case loop. So we call this that using the case loop again, OHI attribute can be used. So in case if it is Windows, please apply this stuff. So we call this like a wrapper cookbook. So for example, let's say that you go to the supermarket and downloaded a couple of cookbooks. 1 second, let me show you that. So let's say that the same task, it's Java installation. So if it is Linux, this is the way, and if it is Windows, this is the way. So let's say you identified 2 cookbooks. So you downloaded those 2 cookbooks. Now, this is one cookbook. Okay, so if you click on this thing, it will be routed to this page, and this is the knife command, and this is how you will download that to the workstation. So that part at least by now. So let's say that you got one more Java cookbook that is for different platform. Could be different platform, but anyway, I don't know what it is saying that this is for Windows is not there. But so now what we do, you will write a wrapper cookbook. So we call that as a dependency chef cookbook. Or okay, let me just show you a simple that now case loop in chef. So you can use this a separate cookbook to be created. You can use this case and just randomly checking. So if I can get that, I'll show you another example. Similarly, you're like Ansible, so you can look for the operating system environment. And it is not helping that. Okay, let me see. Keys thing or like multiple OS. Just looking for that block which can help you. A specific recipe. Okay, maybe I think we can use this stuff. Yeah, I think this probably so this block code. Yeah, I'm just trying to show you the pseudo code. So you can use this Ubuntu, Debian, all this stuff here. So if the platform is this, this is what you have to use stuff. If the platform is this, so you can have your separate recipes. So what do you mean by recipe? We know that inside this recipe, if you go here, so let's say that you go to proxy, okay, you go to recipe. You can write any number of recipes. By default, we are only using default recipe, but let's say I can write my own recipe called windows.rb. So you write your code windows.rb here, and then you write ubuntu.rb. So by default, these recipes will not be called if you execute this cookbook on a node. So you have to explicitly call this based on this kind of loops. So write a wrapper cookbook or wrapper recipe and say that now if this is the OS, this is the recipe, this is the OS, this is the recipe. Yeah, so just spend some time going through this examples, you'll get an idea.
Okay, so this content I need to keep in another recipe, and this will direct to those recipes. If this condition satisfied, then call that, execute that.
Correct.
Okay.
People generally what in real time, there are multiple options, but the best option people are following is. So for example, it's under cookbooks, you have multiple cookbooks, no? So I will create one more cookbook where I will write this kind of code. So anyway, in my chef server policies, I will be having access to all those cookbooks. So when I'm, when I'm writing a cookbook, for example, a wrapper cookbook. So that wrapper cookbook is multi-OS cookbook. So I'll be writing separately that cookbook, which will refer all these cookbooks inside this repo. And that wrapper cook will apply on the nodes. So it will refer that, okay, so if it is Windows, call this cookbook. If it is Linux, call this cookbook. So that cookbook will be having all those details.
Okay.
So I think there were some some examples, but I don't know, for some reason I'm not getting. But yeah. So you can refer some examples. Already written, tested examples are there. I can use those examples. And one more thing. This is at the client side, right? So client side, so anyway, you can set up this automate way to set up like cron tab if it is Linux to run it at 15 minutes every 30 minutes. That is fine. And then where it will actually will be downloading this cookbooks, because agent actually download these cookbooks at these locations. And then it will run those cookbooks locally on this machine. So here you also will be having some details about backup details. So this is backup location. So in case, let's say you modified one configuration file, which is very important, executed that cookbook, but now you want to roll back the changes. So you don't have any automatic mechanism to roll back. You have to write the cookbook manually. Again, how to roll back, because let's say I installed some 3-4 packages. I've done some 4-5 changes. All that stuff, you have to write a separate backup cookbook to undo that stuff. So advantage here is that at the client side, this is the location where it will be backed up. Any configuration file, if there is any change, right, only those files will be backed up. Nothing else, like package and all these things, that will not be backed up. Any configuration file changes happen to the so and so file. So you will find the old version of the file inside this location. In this case, I think some changes happened in this layer. This was backed up, this integrated HTML. So you can roll back and you can redeploy this location. So you roll backing, of course, it's a tedious process. Yeah, generally people, again, they don't automate that stuff. They try to manually undo that stuff, uninstall the package, restore these files by installing the older version. Likewise. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Okay then, yeah. So we'll catch up tomorrow with the new topic called Puppet, and please go through all the exercises, whatever we have so far discussed. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.